I don't know. Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, I don't even know if it's live now. All right, let's try this out. All right. How's it going, Catula? This is Mammoth Sanchez from Beyond the Game, Catula Backroads and Ball Games, where the past meets the present and the game becomes a legacy. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're coming to you live from Catula ISD Town Hall meeting. There's a big bond vote coming up, and if it passes, we're looking at a major upgrade on our high school gym facility and locker room facilities. I'll be talking to coaches, students, parents, and community members to hear their thoughts and what this bond means, why it matters, and how it could shape the future of Catula sports and pride here in Catula. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's get into it. Joining me first, we actually have Mr. Christian Ramirez. He's a freshman attending Catula High School at the moment. Here you go, bud. You want to jump on this? All right, here. We'll knock out a couple questions with you. Let me see. I got them written down somewhere. I think they're up here. All right. So what's your experience like using the current gym and locker room facilities?
Well, as a current athlete in the program, I mean, I pretty much use the gym and locker room every day, and I would say for the gym, it's about time for an upgrade. And
Yeah.
I play basketball, of course, so I would say it would be nice to have a new gym.
Yeah. Not to mention that your dad's been a coach here for many years, and even before or during his time in high school,
Yeah.
this gym has actually been around.
Yeah.
I want to say that the first graduating class was 1979, and I look back. I actually tried to do some research about houses built in the 70s, and as far as like extending out to the highway, there's not very many that were built in 1979, but yet we still have a gym and a high school that from that time. How do you think a new gym would change the daily experience of students like yourself involved in sports and other activities?
Well, I think we can do a variety of things because we usually have to share a gym between the girls and us, and I feel like if we could have a full gym between the both of us, we're allowed to do more than just what we're simplified to do,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you wouldn't be so limited, and I guess you can do a little more practice-wise, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, as someone who's going through the program, how big of a difference do you think this bond would make, having new locker room facilities and, two gyms?
I mean, it would be a huge difference. I would have to, for basketball season, I know it would be a lot easier because we would have to go to Newman and practice it early in the morning. So it'd be nice to have one-on-one. And then the new locker rooms, I know it'd be nice for the upper kids coming,
Yeah.
There'd be more room because I know there's going to be a lot of kids joining next year. So it'll be more room for us and the away teams.
Do you think it would attract more kids to want to come on and play sports?
I think it would. I think it would attract a lot more people.
Having newer facilities, nicer gyms. So you say you practice in the morning. What time are you having to wake up at? Or to show up to practice?
Well, me, it would be probably around 5 o'clock. Shower, get my stuff ready for the day, head out by 5:45 and be there by 6.
And then still have to go to school, classes.
And then after school band.
After school band. Oh, man, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in band. So then does the band still practice in the morning, or have they kind of adjusted?
They've adjusted because
of
our
the
competition
athletics.
because of athletics. Since it's in the morning, we have to go after school. So I won't get home part till like 5.
Golly, man, that's a long day.
Yeah.
That is. So then, having that morning practice, do you have a breakfast routine at least, or do you even get to?
Well, I usually pack some breakfast. I would pack, like some snacks and everything because
trying to get you through the day.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat though at 5 in the morning because I'm not trying to throw up.
Yeah.
All the running.
Yeah, that's brutal. Well, I appreciate you taking some time.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna stick around. We're gonna hear Mr. Nava have a couple words, and we'll interview a couple more people. Y'all stand by.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, man. Still live? Yeah, we're still live. Showing around. Got our floor plans over here. Interactive bubble.
Have you taken it over there so they can see?
No, not yet. I was actually gonna connect my camera because that's kind of something else I can do. Is take it over there on the road.
Yeah, we're good. I'll get on probably about 6:30.
Yeah.
Just kind of giving everybody an opportunity to.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, we're live right now. We have 5, 7 people. So I'm able to join as a guest right now. So whenever I want to bring my phone, you can see right there on the bottom. Zoom in on that. We can take them over there. I wouldn't have to be carrying that.
We can only hold on to so much tax money, and then if it's over, we have to send it back to the state. So that's the reason. So yeah, it's to everybody else. So like, we actually have the first thing that started out was
What are we doing?
You want to sit down?
Sure, I'll sit down.
Yeah, and then you'll be talking with that microphone.
Okay.
All right, let's put another one. Oh, my mom jumps over here.
Here she is.
Go on, go on.
You're good.
This is so cool. Hi,
I
Misty.
know. It's super cool.
This is
I see your husband more than I get to see you because Jack goes over there with him all the time. Oh my God. I'm
River's like, oh, wait. Nothing for our It's Jack. He's home.
yes. We stopped by there and I'm like, I know we're going to be here 30, 45 minutes. And I'm like, Meme, you don't have work to do. He said, well, see, but I'm working while I'm talking to Jack.
Oh, they're trying to sell more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We have Miss Tina Alba from Ensenal joining us today. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
No, you were good.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on the current state of the high school gym and locker room facilities?
We are due for an upgrade. We do have a great gym, but I mean, our kids deserve the best. And as far as morale, it lifts up morale when you have. Um, we have a great softball um, field. We have a fantastic football field. So why not on a new gym?
Yes, exactly. I agree because this is kind of like the last thing like on the list.
Yes,
in a sense. And even I mean, it's not just used for basketball. We're looking at volleyball. Powerlifting, the opportunity to host tournaments,
Correct.
bring a little more to our high school.
Yes, most definitely. And like one of the coaches was saying, now they'll be able to kind of work better at using both sides of the gym and making it easier for our kids from Encinal who get up really early and get home really late. So
yes,
I mean that's an advantage in itself.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think the Encinal kids, I mean, they're talking about practice being 5, 6 in the morning. I mean, they're having to wake up
4:15.
Like
yeah, 4:00, 4:15.
And then still have to go through your day as a high school student.
Correct.
The student athlete, the student part has to come first. So
yes.
How do you think improved facilities would benefit our student athletes and the community as a whole?
I just say, like you said, it would bring good revenue. We host different events. It'll bring revenue into the town in itself, and concessions, especially for our classes, things like that. And like I said, it boosts the morale on the kids. I'm gonna just a short story. Encinal didn't have. They had a baseball field that just wasn't kept up with.
Mm-hmm.
So then the county made sure to kind of Jack came in and he made sure to kind of put lights. They had never had lights on the fields, and that was some lights that the school donated.
Okay, wow.
So that's great. And so, like I said, once those kids had their first game, the morale, it boosts their morale. They feel a whole lot better. And it's a great feeling to have the best. And our kids deserve it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, how good did it feel to those Encinal kids who always have to travel somewhere else to get through Little League? So I'll ask you my last question. What would you say to someone in the community who may be undecided about voting for this bond?
I would say if you look at the numbers, as I was looking at the pamphlet, basically, if your household is if your house is worth more than 100,000, then you'll see a little bit of a tax increase, and it's 0.98 cents or something like that. So it's not going to be much. And when you add that up at the end of the year, like I said again, our kids are worth it. We were talking about this with the people here, the architects, and basically, by the time this school and this gym gets done, God willing, and everybody votes for it, we will not have to do anything for the next 50 years.
Yes.
I mean, it's a great investment, so I would say, yes, most definitely vote yes for the bond.
I agree. I completely agree. That's what I'm pushing. Well, Ms. Tina, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day and joining us today at this town hall meeting. It means a lot, and especially to be a part of our podcast going on live right now. So Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for being here. Okay. of you may have been part of the process. The homework that I got when I first started was, let's move this project forward. We're doing a lot of meetings, a lot of insight, a lot of input that was gathered by community members. Some of you may have been at these meetings, and some of you may have not. But as you can see, there was a lot of detail that was provided, a lot of planning, a lot of what we want to do a high school look like. So based on that community input, the floor plan that was designed was the current high school is being currently constructed. So we have an academic building that will be 2 stories. We have an administrative building, all primarily housed by the IHA. And then we have a building auditorium that seats 400 people. 60, which you can see over here on the image. We have 2 CTE bays, which will outfit our working program and our ag animal program. We have an area auditorium. We have a existing gym, the kitchen model, the kitchen field house. So the 2 alternatives for the additional day and the gymnasium. So as this conversation gets going, we continue to refine, and we broke ground back in October of 2024. So I did get a lot of emails, what are you doing in this email? I got my boyfriend there, I got my husband there, I got my wife there. A lot of history in these buildings. I got a lot of but at the end of it all, everybody at the end of the conversation, this is like, yeah, that makes sense, I get it, right? We knew that these buildings were all in this time. So 2024 October, we started knocking down buildings. And if you come by the side now, it looks very down, right? There's nothing there. But we had to make infrastructure, a lot of infrastructure was pointed out. New plumbing lines, new water lines, electrical conduit, everything that's going to help support this complex is happening now. And in about the next 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to start to put the forms in so that they can start pouring concrete. Once that goes, they'll start bringing metal and that building will start to go. But I just want to let you all know that construction comes in phases, right? Those of us that have experienced any type of remodeling at your home, it's a little inconvenient, and we know the students are telling us all the time. There's a lot of dust, there's a lot of mud, there's a lot of. We're trying to work through things with them. They've been very, very patient because they know that this year's sophomore is going to be able to experience this school, right? So, this is what the current renderings look like for the front. I know we've done a little more digital, but we've been able to have that thanks to Fluger to give us clearer renderings and a more realistic look. So, this is definitely what the front of the school is going to look like. So, just a quick recap on history, right? So, back in 2022, the community supported the $65 million bond to build a new Cthulhu high school. 2023, the community authorized the support of the $5 million bond for safety and security. What happened between there was budget, right? And there was the investment that needed to happen to make sure that all of our business buildings were safe and secure. That's what they were on the site, the security system, the camera system, fencing system, metal detectors. And some of you shared with me today that when you go to other school districts, you don't see that level of security. But we are, and I heard that very, very early when I started hearing the news that safety was paramount. And so, back in 2023, that $5 million bond was specifically for safety and security. Then again, 2024, 2025, we all experienced recession. So that recession made all prices go up, right? Including metal, steel, labor, right? So Dubai is in a unique situation because we're between Laredo and San Antonio. So labor comes at a premium. We have to pay more to get some contractors to come out here. So that cost will get passed over to us. So in October, actually September of 2024, the board authorized pricing for the big project going, right? And because pay a little higher because of those inflationary prices, the alternatives were left out of the main project. But I can tell you the conversation that I had with the board of trustees is that they wanted the full campus at this community home design. So our financing is good, it looks very good to be able to ask the community to support a $10 million project. And the developers talk about that in the district. So these are the renderings of the proposed stadium, and you've got to interact with the meter. And I want to be very clear that the intent of our board was to build the whole project as long as it came in within budget. That's why we have renderings and pictures and blueprints, because the full intent was to do this, right? But because pricing is high, we have to make the adjustments needed. But I can tell you that the full commitment is still to provide the campus that this community has designed. Lobby area, so there'll be the lobby at the next, this current gym with the proposed gym. The concession stand will go from here to the middle. We'll have two certain areas with each gym and working with each other. And then one lobby area that connects both, right? So that there is traffic flow between the two, you have to right outside of this one. So, I'm going to ask those people and then go to Randy to talk just a little bit about how this is exactly that program.
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank you all for coming out this afternoon. I'd also like to thank our board members for giving us this opportunity for the proposal weekend coming up on the national game. I've talked about Nashville when I got into this position, we kind of put some meetings together on the meetings. And, you know, it's always super hard, we're kind of doing the wishes of every day. You know, as time goes on, everything back to the price, I was expecting something to not like I'm seeing. I know the board was all in again at the beginning. This is not what we got to now. And I'm very appreciative because it's not limited as you can see in the space. I know volleyball and sports like that, you know, we have a lot of numbers and again, not a lot of advertising practices. So it's very ideal. Up until we changed that rate for first grade or high school, I know my first 8 years on the high school system, and we would have to rotate. You know, somebody would practice from 3 to 5, and then we'd be on the field from 5 to 7. Well, I think not people would be on the bus till 7:30 or something like that. So now I know, you know, we do the morning practice, which is basically the same amount of hours, but the day's starting earlier. Now they get to get home on 5:30 instead of 7:30. So that to me, that's the benefit is, you know, having the space for multiple teams to practice. You know, whether the morning, you know, we do a rotation system, you know, morning practice is there, girls practice is here. Of course, you know, I think it's great for the fact that all the high school and everything is kind of goes together. It's really good. I know the gym is always, you know, the basic on campus. You know, when people come in, the gym is not just used for high school, you know, basketball, we use it for everything. I know our youth leagues, we do college fairs, sometimes graduation in here, you know, events like this today. So, again, I think I'm very interested in having opportunities to even, you know, look for a product coming up in May. So, again, look at some of the benefits, you know, of being we did. So, again, that's one thing, you know. I just want to get back on what you said. Today, November, you see that everything is kind of practicing to this stage, something that we have to need. It kind of goes down into the governor that we're going to do now, so we're practicing earlier. The lady coming in and using the facilities as well. Yes, they're home learners, their families, their studies, and those kinds of things. So they know in that aspect. If you look at what opportunities out there, we're sure that we're keeping this. You know, there's a lot of pride here. There's some big games that have been had here. I play a big play. Kids have played in here. So this is a lot of somebody that we have to spend here. And then secondly, I think that investing in the youth, like this, we're investing in our kids' future. And we're investing in our kids' future, creating a lot of pride, because I think it's good. You know, I think it's the best, and I think you can see that the students will be awesome. We're excited. Kids are excited about getting to spend some time as the kids were walking through the presentations at the middle school, and their eyes just opened up wide. And then they had all kinds of questions, and they were like, sir, did you really hear everything? I said, the other girl. So just kind of thinking out what our biggest said, I think it's a big investment in pride and the honor that we're going to have and we're going to put in the class as well. So I think it's a big opportunity, and I appreciate you being able to be a part of it.
Thank you. So, next question is, okay, right, what's the bottom line? How much am I going to have to pay? What's my contribution to this, right? So, Mr. Bell is going to tell us about what that bottom line is
Okay, I get to talk about some of that. Anyway, what we're showing up here is basically what it would cost a homeowner.
Click it on there,
Doesn't cost you a penny, because the homestead
You need to say that again for the community that's watching.
Okay. If you own a $100,000 home and you file for the homestead exemption, you have to go file, okay? I think we had out of 1,000 some odd, we had 837 homes that are under the homestead exemption, okay? If you fall under a homestead exemption and your home is worth $100,000 or less, when you get the values, then you won't pay a penny because you get 100,000 homestead exemption from the school, okay? If your home is worth 200,000, then you would pay on the 100,000 above the exemption, which would cost you 98 cents a month. So for 98 cents a month, we could afford the bond, okay? So I just want you to put it in perspective of what you're looking at. If you own a $250,000 home with the homestead exemption, you would pay $1.48 a month. That's what it will cost us to be able to pass a bond to build a new gymnasium, okay? And such as if you had a $200,000 home, $300,000 home with a $100,000 exemption, it would cost you $1.95 a month. So very minimal to the homeowner, okay? Now, 71% of our values is minerals. That's gas and oil, okay? 98.2% of our overall value is minerals and businesses. The homeowner is 0.98% of everything that we pay on our bonds, okay? So a homeowner would pay less than 1% of every single dollar that we tax on our bonds, okay? So be thinking about that. Less than 1% is what all of us who own homes would pay towards that bond. The rest is paid by businesses and minerals, okay? And that's what we're showing you here. Now, if you're 65, okay, Mr. Vela, if you're 65 and older, then what you need to do is make sure you go and apply at the CAD. You have to go apply, okay? Make sure you go and apply at the CAD. Your parents, your grandparents, if they're 65 and older and they own a home, go and apply at the CAD so your taxes will be frozen. So if you're 65 and older and you applied at the CAD, gone through the application, then your taxes are frozen. So again, you pay zero on anything, okay? And I'm not saying you pay zero taxes. You would pay zero on any increase, okay? Your taxes are frozen. So you wouldn't pay any extra for the bond, okay? Okay, and these are the dates of the election, okay? Early voting starts Tuesday, the 22nd to the 25th, and the 28th to the 29th. And then the actual day of the voting will be on May 3rd? So we cannot ask you by law, I cannot sit here and say vote for or against. We cannot do that, okay? That is your right to go vote if you want to go vote. All we're saying is we're trying to give you facts on what it will cost you if the bond does pass, okay? But again,
sitting here, Dr. Nava, myself, any of the administration, we do not tell people how to vote, no matter what, okay? We just tell you that you have the right to go vote, okay? Any questions? Okay, I will tell you a story because I was born and raised here. My father was Shorty, and some of you that are older of us know who he was. Okay, my brother was Johnny, so you know who he was too. But I will say that, you know, we used to go to other districts when we were in high school. And I tell the story to a lot of people. And we go to Divine and we go to Pearsall and we would say, hey, you know what? I wish we had something like this. And now it's our turn. You look at what we're going to have. Now it's our turn for people to come to our town and say, wow, I wish we had something like this. And this is all for our children. Okay? Thank you so much. So, as you can see, right, if there are lines in our favor, right, this weekend, right, if you own, right, a home, $100,000 there, you buy a new kitchen, you got a kitchen, you pay zero. If you own a $200,000 home, you get $100,000 difference, you're paying taxes on $100,000, right? $300,000, you're paying taxes on $50,000. Those are pretty homes, right? Nevertheless, the big takeaway is that our board has been very frugal and timely as well. Because if the bond is successful, we could plot to do that gym on the tail end of the construction of the project, so it's not like we're going to have to wait. Right? Our architectural firm and our building folks that come with us, we can plot it in, and it's just one seamless approach. We have about, the renderings are about 90-something%. So it's not going to take us a lot to really put it, because again, our full intent and the board's full intent was to provide the whole package, right? But there were some decisions that needed to be made, and we didn't want to stall the project because we knew that this community had been waiting, right? They had been waiting. So at the end of it all, right, if you have any other questions, you have literature, we'll be more than able to make ourselves available afterwards. If you want to call us, I know that we're trying to put this information out on our website and all of our social media outlets. The QR code, you take a picture of that, and it'll take you straight to our site. That'll provide you with presentation, provide you with factual information, and provide you with everything that you need. And if you have more specific questions, feel free to reach out to us. We want to be stewards of that information to you all. Okay? Thank you. There's still more there. Okay. Yes. Because it came in as an alternate. Because the gym, there was additional CTE base. There was a construction base, we had a building construction, there was some others. So there was a third base that should have been built as well. That came in. So those were the two kind of alternates. Okay. There was other pieces like aesthetics, ceilings, like fancy stuff from Indonesia and all this other stuff. So we did some data engineering to really try to get things down, right? But building wise, those were the two. Thank you all very much. And please rotate, right? We do it all one night, so we want to immediately go back in and get the more virtual and classes and our ice is free too. Let's put out a cup of ice. Without any certain, okay?
Testing.
revenue split?
Testing, testing. Mic check. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, testing.
Yeah, we're live right now. Yeah, so you want to join, take a seat?
Are you expecting like a?
Yeah, so you'll grab that mic, and I'll have this little one right here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We have another guest. We have Mr. Agustin Salinas. He is the architect with Pfluger, who is currently the guy's in charge of making all this happen. Agustin, I just have a couple questions for you, sir, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
First one being, how does the new facility compare to what other similar sized districts in the region have?
So, in general terms, if there's like a new facility in another district, it should be getting equal or even a better facility than what it is right now.
Okay.
Like size-wise, material, quality of materials, infrastructure, technology, comparable or better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Miss Ramirez actually let me know that y'all built a school district, or you upgraded a school district in Somerset. Is that correct?
I believe so. I wasn't involved in that project, but yeah, it's
Okay.
It's on something that we did in the company.
Okay,
Yes.
and so then what was your latest project before Catula, if you don't mind me asking?
At least on what I've worked in Pfluger, we it's a little bit different, but it was a Texas State project. We did a renovation at the football field. We had a training room and some amenities to it. Before that, it's currently been finished. It's a new middle school for Kamal ISD up north in San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Bulberta Middle School.
Okay.
It's open already, but it's gonna be completely finished pretty soon.
Awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, and then the last question I had, let me pull it up.
And I know that to that same question, when talking to the coach during the sign, he referenced Dilly, and I forgot the other school district name that he was kind of comparing to, that he wanted to get an equal facility. So that's kind of building that to that question that you
asked. Yeah, for sure. Because I know Dilly just upgraded their gym as well. I'm not too sure about the facility. I think that might actually be coming up, in their next.
Yeah.
Next
So that
deal.
And he like always was referencing to, hey, we want to get the same that they're getting over there. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like it's equal or probably better than what it is.
Okay. So the next one, were community or school staff involved in the planning process? And if so, how did their feedback influence the final plans?
Oh, for sure. So we went through an extensive process with the community. We have a couple, maybe like 4 to 5 meetings with the community initially to get input from teachers, community members, the board members, the superintendent. So we have teachers from all departments, athletics and all that, to give us feedback. We came back to our office, put those ideas together on paper, and then we came back, presented again, like, hey, this is what we're thinking you guys want. What do you think? So that's how we kind of, in general terms, we shaped the design of the project. And like they showed it in the presentation there, we have some boards with, they voted like, hey, we like this, we don't like this, blah, blah, blah. So we have them be engaged a lot during design. So yeah, they were very involved.
So then the final draft or the final design was influenced by people and coaches.
Yeah, by Catula. Yeah.
Okay.
We just took their ideas and did the best that we could to interpret it and put it on paper.
Okay.
And when we present it back, they all seem to like it. So that's what we're moving forward with this project.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking some time. I know y'all brought, what's this?
It's called Tina.
Tina.
I forgot what this stands for, but you put some 3D 360 images. So you take like the renders that we did for the school, put the image in there, and you can just pan around and see all around it.
That's pretty awesome. We'll probably take this iPad over there and kind of let the viewers kind of take a view of it.
Yeah, you just
select the image that you want to see, and then just spin around with your finger.
Okay, awesome. Well, I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate joining us on our live broadcast, first ever, and having in the school district or in the school in general.
Yeah,
so
it's a very exciting project.
Yes, we're excited. I mean, this is something Cotulla's been overdue for, especially the high school. So thank you very much, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take you through this interactive setup. Oop, wrong one. Here we go. All right, let's see what we can do with it. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Go all the way around. Awesome. Thanks, Charlie. We're looking at our entry. Ooh, 2009. Yeah. Yeah, the gym for sure. The locker rooms were actually a little older, so they were hot. I don't even think we had AC. Academic first floor. If we do the, the courtyard and. Oh, okay. So this is where all the students will be in, correct? Okay. Oh, okay. Come back. And then this is the second floor of it. So we're looking at the top part. What's that area right there?
So that's just like a little foyer area.
Okay.
Right? The collaborative spaces are just for chill for the kids. Going through that corridor, that's actually the bridge. Right here is the bridge.
Okay.
This area. As you go through, when you come out, you're going into the cafeteria.
Oh, okay. Wow. This kid's got it made. We used to have to walk around in the rain.
Yeah, they'll be able to go from the administration all the way to the end of the academics, all on the inside.
Wow. And as far as the administration building, they'll have I guess visitors will have access outside, but only to that, correct? So now we don't have to deal with.
You go to, let's see, the country promenade. This is the one you pass the gates. So if you turn around.
Okay, so now we're in. Yeah.
That's the gate to the outside. So you're walking in from the parking lot. Mm-hmm. On the left hand side, coming in, you'll have the admin. It'll be the lobby. That's what your attendance. That's where they'll check you in. And then if the gates are closed, then you'll come in through this door. That's the attendants. You'll come in and go. You can
okay,
go
so then they give you access.
Right.
Okay.
And you go inside. And then that first area there, that's all the fine arts.
Oh, okay.
So that the majority of that, you're going to have screens. You see the screens on the wall?
Yes.
Those will be digital displays that'll change.
Wow.
It'll give you events. It'll show you the football team. It'll show you sports.
Posters.
It'll show you other activities that might be happening on campus or on the other facilities for the district. But first you'll have the black box. And you'll go down the corridor. At the end, you'll take the corridor that'll take you to the fine arts areas, which is the black box, the band pong, the mariachi, changing rooms for the back of the auditorium. And if you're going in through those doors, it'll take you to the dining area, right? We're now inside the dining area. You're looking at the doorway to the cafeteria.
Okay.
I'm sorry, to the auditorium. Right?
Oh,
You
yes.
see the entries to the auditorium?
There's two.
There's two entries on the side, but also this doorway opens.
Oh,
So the
wow.
auditorium sits 450, but if you have a larger event, you have a graduation, it'll open up and you can extend out. The intention is to accommodate 1,000 people. That way, you do have a graduation, everybody comes, the family, la tía, la abuelita, everybody comes, you know.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
If you go out that's another courtyard that kind of overlooks into the pond that's out there.
Okay.
You remember the pond
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
out there?
Yes, sir.
So this is a view towards the pond. To the left-hand side is where all the CTE facilities,
Okay.
the welding and the ag, and hopefully others in the future. And around the corner, too, is the kitchen and serving lines.
Okay.
And through this stairway, that's the one that takes you into the academic.
To that. Okay, that's academic second floor.
And that can take you inside the performing arts. That's looking at the stage. But if you look around, that's the one that seats 450. And that's the doors that will open out to the dining room.
Wow.
And then if you go to the gym, that's the one from the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this half of this is the existing.
Okay.
You see now that we're
Yeah.
going to cover, so it looks like a new building, and it'll extend to the new part that was over there on the plans. If you saw the plans, you have the gym plus the locker areas on the side.
Okay.
And then if you go into the existing lobby, so you right
It kind of be like
here.
right now, or like where we're at right here. Right.
On this side, it's the lobby going into the existing, so going in here. And we go into this gym. This is a view from this side of the gym, looking that way.
Okay.
And we'll give it a fresh coat of paint. We'll change the bleachers because the bleachers are a little bit old. There's some
they're outdated.
Too, so we'll kind of change a few of those. And then we'll go back.
That's this gym right now.
We'll go to the new lobby. And as Dr. Nala mentioned, the existing and the new lobby is it's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can go to the gym. They can separate it to have two. That way, if you have a tournament, one gym is functioning over here, boys and girls restrooms over here, boys and girls restrooms over here. So they can be separated and act independently or serve independently, or you can open it up to function together.
Wow.
Then this glass gives you the view into the competition. So out here, the intention is to get furniture so kids can lounge out there. They'll be able to charge their phones, just kind of hang out and chill while they're watching the practice or the game. And then this last view, now we're on the opposite side of the gym.
Oh, okay.
Looking back towards the lobby.
Towards the lobby.
This one's going to sit 668.
Wow.
So we'll have the stadium seating in the middle.
Oh, cool.
And then
Nice.
we'll do some VIP. Let's talk about doing that, selling season tickets.
Yeah, for sure.
And then on the sides will be your cheap seats.
Your general admission.
To run the full court and then side court.
Oh, okay.
That's going to kind of function. That's one thing that Coach
Ramirez
and Ramirez kind of wanted to have multiple. That way they can have everybody, instead of having one team practicing per, they can have multiple ones working in both gyms and be multifunctional. Right?
Awesome.
Get the kids in, getting practice and all that.
Good deal. What about the locker rooms? How are the?
Well, we do have this image of the lockers, but like I was telling others, they're not as flashy as the others, right? So on the plans over there, you can kind of see the restrooms, the showers, the coach's office, all the spaces for that, but you really can't create that many nice views. Right?
And as far as that, and then that locker room's going to be what, freshman, varsity, JV?
Yes.
Kind of, okay.
We have the different layouts, and then in between are like kind of coach's office, so they can kind of supervise the kids coming in and out.
Okay. Awesome. You see the school? So you have,
You can come closer now if you want to.
yeah, look, you can interact. That's the entry.
That is going to be amazing. My goodness. So that's like what we're.
That's
we're
like,
walking up into.
yeah,
Parking lot,
because this
right?
is the gym right here.
Yeah.
That's this gym.
Okay, that'll be this.
It's going to be next to it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's your.
And then look at the academic first floor.
You know.
but yeah, Big Mom is there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
The library.
That's gonna be upstairs?
Yeah. And that's like a lounge area.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to the auditorium, correct?
No, this is the academics. So
oh, okay. So this is all academic. Okay. Maybe the classroom.
You have to go across the bridge and down the stairs to go into the cafeteria.
Okay.
It is gonna have an elevator, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not saying that the kids can't walk up and down the stairs.
The courtyard.
Well, typically the elevators are used mostly for staff or for accessibility.
Yeah, the handicap, like the.
Hopefully, it'll be mostly for faculty and for accessibility, not for the regular use of students.
Oh, okay, that'll be good.
That's the bridge that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Across the river from the academic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, what did I do? Oh, I reset the image. And dining.
Wow. Oh, there's the auditorium, right?
Yeah.
That's where you're at now?
Dining hall.
Wow. That is going to be beautiful.
A lot different than what you had.
Yeah. I got here way in the beginning when they first barely opened the school. I was like, not as fancy as this, but it's beautiful.
The original high school?
Yeah, because well, my sister graduated in 82, and it opened up in 78 when the first class that graduated.
Okay.
So,
you graduated from the high school?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. I remember a lot. But it was like, we were just talking about it when we used to have to run from like one section of the buildings to the other when it was raining. It was like, because you couldn't go.
It made you a faster runner.
You could go through all the buildings, but that would make no sense because we were still going to be late. So we would all run across and we'd be drenched. I got to see my kids go here and it was just like, oh Lord, it's going to rain. It was like we dreaded it because if it was cold out and rainy.
It doesn't rain often, but when it rains,
Yes,
it rains.
yes. And then if it's cold, it was just like, oh my goodness. I mean, this is, wow, this is beautiful. These kids, well deserved.
So the project is being built in phases. So the academic building will be hopefully turned over not this schedule.
Try to record this little video for a little bit. So they get a look. Oh. And if anybody watching has any questions they'd like to ask, I can always try to get answers.
Randy, is you good?
Yeah, we went to the tour. Showed the video for a bit. You know, you usually get the gist of it.
Did you hear him better when I put that on?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you want to be here tomorrow, but I haven't, but I will. So Eagle and Randy, so we can do a podcast, or if you even want to come to the office.
Yeah, we can.
They're at the board office, and we'll all sit, and we just kind of throw questions out. And
Yeah.
Kind of,
That one we could do.
Yeah. I'll let them know when they're available. I don't.
Some questions right now.
Yeah, I could take some questions down. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's a mic.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll use this one right here. All right, so now joining me, we have Superintendent Mr. Dr. Ramiro Nava. Mr. Nava, I know you're a big part of the design, the adjustments that we had to make due to inflation, and just overall trying to make everything happen so we can get the new gym, the new the new facilities, the CTE. So, what's your overall? Can you describe your overall vision for the new gym and locker room facility?
Yes, sir. So first of all, is when I came in and the district hired me, the project was already kind of on its way, right? But knowing also that when I came in mid to late 2023, we were already starting to see signs of inflation and prices and things going up. So the main task was to try to get the building within budget or something that was comparable. So we went to work and we did some value engineering. But at the same time, we didn't want to lose sight of the layout and the design that the community helped create, right? So with that and with that task, we really started to look at pieces. And I can tell you that the gymnasium was part of the initial design. And what came together for the gymnasium design is making sure that we had a space, right? Space for all of our athletes, making sure that we had space for our JV teams, for our varsity teams. And making sure that we definitely had looking at equitable space, right, for our males and females, right? Because I get that often, right? Like, hey, this space, that space, but we wanted to make sure that what we were providing was in the best interest of everybody. Locker room space too. We made sure that there was enough locker space. We also made sure that the design helped for our female athletes, right? We know that sometimes they need to get themselves ready, so we have mirror space, prep space for them to be able to do what they need to do. In order so they can get themselves to class. So that input came from some conversations with students, conversation with our coaches, and making sure that everything was suitable for what our needs were.
Yes, sir. So will this new facility have the flexibility to host other community events and school events, beyond athletics?
Definitely. So we don't want to lose sight of that. We know that currently our facilities are used not just for our own high school or for our middle school, but we definitely are partners with the Cthulhu Sports Association. That partnership, I definitely want to continue to participate with that. I personally have experienced the work that your organization does, and so know that you have a partner for life with me.
Thank you.
And so long as I'm in this role, I'll make sure that we're doing and we're keeping those partnerships. I can tell you that our board of trustees also feels highly that our facilities, although we're stewards, right? The school districts are stewards. The facilities belong to the community. So we're always looking at opportunities on what we can house, what we can do, and what we can host. So definitely, we want to continue the partnership, not just with the Cthulhu Sports Association, but other organizations, right? And I know that if they're a 501(c), we provide them, if not for no cost, but for a very low cost.
Yes, sir.
So any other organizations that are out there that are looking to host an event and our facilities are suitable to their needs, give us a call.
Yeah, for sure. And like the thing for us too, I mean, I guess speaking on terms of the Cthulhu Sports Association was, everybody loves Cthulhu. First, we got the restaurants, we got beautiful facilities, the football field, the gyms. The biggest deal was always, hey, can y'all host a tournament? And it was, well, it's hard for me because as the president, I like to be at, kind of the same place, same time as everybody. And the thing was like, okay, well, we have a middle school gym that we have access to, but it's a mile or two away.
Right.
You know, now if this plan goes through, we'll have two gyms back to back.
Right.
It'd be a lot easier to manage.
Right.
Less, less manpower that we'd be needing.
Correct.
In order to host the event. So
I would tell you, Mr. Sanchez, that one of the questions that I've gotten often is if the current gym, right, the one that we're sitting in right now, is going to be demolished because we're proposing a new one. And the answer is no, right? We know that there's been a lot of history in this gym. We know that there's been some big games that have been won in this gym. And we know that this gym is nostalgic. We know that a lot of our folks, a lot of our alumni, they hit their first free throw here. They hit the free throw here, right? They hit that 3-pointer here, or they hit that last, kill shot in a volleyball game. Some people met their current spouse here, right? And so we don't want to lose sight of this gym. We know that this gym has historical value. And that's one of the things that we definitely want to keep in mind too, right?
Yes, sir.
So not just the gym. We have artifacts that we've come across, the sign up front, the 2 Bucking Cowboys at the front of this gymnasium. All these pieces we want to keep as a nostalgic piece and really incorporate into our new high school, because Cotula does have a rich history with the work that we've done. And you're absolutely right. Everybody does love Cotula, but it's because we're lovable people.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. I agree with that. So can you speak on how the design promotes safety, accessibility, and inclusivity for all students?
Definitely. So our safety protocols are definitely going to continue, and they're going to be in place, right? So although the facility is going to be a state-of-the-art building, we do have our safety features that are going to be incorporated into the building. We're still going to have to go through metal detector. We're still going to have to keep safety's paramount.
Yes, sir.
And that definitely, in working with our board this past week and putting goals together, one of the draft goals that they definitely want me to keep in mind and put in the forefront is safety. Not just of our students, but of our staff and the greater community.
Yes, sir.
But the building does have some integrated safety features to make sure that the safety is paramount. We do have the front of the building, although it's going to be glass facade, things of that nature. We definitely are going to follow all the protocols and all the requirements that are put forth by the state. So definitely we're going to make sure that we keep those in mind because it's still part of our school.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you don't mind me asking you one last question, how do you think an improved facility would benefit our student athletes and the community as a whole?
So I think it's definitely going to benefit our student athletes because they're going to have the opportunity to focus really more on practice, because now having 2 facilities, they can practice here, right? Our coaches spoke earlier about logistics, right? Sometimes we have students that either have to get here early to be able to get some gym time. We also heard from coaches that sometimes students have to stay late because of the lack of space, right?
Yes, sir.
So having 2 facilities side by side would definitely provide us the opportunity to be able to host multiple practice times here. The new gym that's being proposed, you can actually cut it in half and you have 2 full court basketball courts or 2 full court volleyball courts. So it definitely gives us the opportunity to host more practice sessions. So we feel, right, the more that they practice, the better that they become. And as far as for the community, this also gives us greater indoor space so that I know that historically, and we don't want to break the tradition of having graduations outside, but if nature calls and we have to move things indoors, the proposed gym has seating for over 600 individuals. So we can easily house graduations, job fairs. I mean, if we want to partner with the greater community, if they want to host any type of pageants, anything like this, we definitely are open to be able to do things like that. So Absolutely. It just provides us with another opportunity and another building to be able to host not just sporting events, but other events that the community may need.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're starting to broaden our opportunities.
Correct. We're broadening our scope and we're providing ourselves with more options. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Nava, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day.
Thank you.
Especially on this awesome town hall meeting. So
yes. Well, thank you very much. And I know that there are people out on your podcast, and as I shared with our participants, if they have any questions, they can definitely reach out to me. They can reach out to Mr. Vela. They can reach out to our coaches, because we have an obligation to give people the factual information.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Thank
you, sir.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
You just grab the microphone. And we'll start going, dude. All right, now we have another special guest. We have Athletic Director, Mr. Esteban Rodriguez, join us today, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. And if anybody watching live at the moment has a question for him, we can definitely try our best to answer it. How's it going, Coach?
It's going well, man. Thank you for having me on. And most importantly, I appreciate you coming out to the town hall meeting this evening. This is actually my first time being at one as well. I wasn't sure what to expect, but we had a decent turnout. I'm glad that, people showed up to kind of see the renderings of the new high school and hopefully the new gymnasium, if God willing, everything works out.
Yeah, it's a lot different, seeing, that interactive bubble dome compared to just, photos laid out on the table.
It was very neat. I know one thing, we were busy today with meetings, but they had it at the middle school, and they said the kids were in awe, man. They said that the kids were excited, the middle school kids. So it's great. A lot of times people want to see things on paper. They want to see it come to fruition, and that's definitely one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's great.
It's definitely different for all of us. So from your perspective as the athletic director, what challenges do you face with the current gym setup?
Well, as I mentioned earlier at the meeting, we've kind of things have gotten better. We switched athletics to first period at the high school. But I do know, when I first started my career for the first 8 years, when I was a basketball assistant, the girls we would rotate, but the girls would start, from 3 to 5, and then we wouldn't get on till 5 to 7. And our poor Ensenada kids weren't getting on that bus till 7:30 in the evening, man. So that was definitely one of the challenges. Like I said, this is our first year of having athletics first period, so we've gone to predominantly morning practices. I'm sorry, but I do know that it's tough. They still have to get on the bus at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, yes,
but the good thing is that they're getting home on the 3:45 bus 4 o'clock, opposed to having to wait till 7:30.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a good thing. As far as it definitely was a bit of a challenge, but we always find a way to figure it out and make sure that we're doing what we need to get the kids ready.
Yeah, for sure. What are some specific improvements this bond could bring that would enhance your ability to coach?
As far as I mentioned, we always find a way. We always try to find a way to figure it out. I do know, our girls volleyball programs got upwards of 50 girls, and in basketball they had great numbers. So kind of what we're working right now, we're kind of, limited to spacing, as far as practicing. We don't have, official courts going the width and stuff like that. So it's going to be beneficial, man. Kids getting to practice at the same time. We're not having to bus from the middle school or the old Keithley gym and stuff like that. So I really think it's going to be beneficial. One thing that I'm looking forward to is just, the ability of us being able to host.
Yeah.
Host
Exactly.
tournaments, and, we can do powerlifting with boys and girls. And I think it's going to be convenient, and it makes a lot of sense. And I just think that, I think our kids, at the end of the day, I just think our kids deserve it.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest thing, man.
right
And,
there.
this is going to be here kind of like the current gym that we're in right now, man. It's going to be here for a long time. So whether our kids, our grandkids and great grandkids for years to come, man. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Hopefully everything works out and the bond gets approved in May.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the thing I asked Coach Ramirez's son, Christian, was, do you, having a newer facility, newer gym, it's kind of going to bring attention to some kids, that probably are a little timid to go after athletics or that's kind of just in the back of their mind. Do you think having a brand new facility, especially one as far as, state of the art, the way that they have it rendered, do you kind of anticipate it attracting more student athletes coming your way?
Yeah, I anticipate more kids coming out, and I sure hope so. As I mentioned earlier, our kids deserve the best, man. And I feel like with us building a new high school and kind of, a lot of upgrades that are going on around the facility, we've had some of the better, athletic facilities as far as baseball, softball, football, field house for the past, 10 years or something like that. So I definitely think the kids will get excited and look forward to playing, in a state-of-the-art gym, as you mentioned. So, I'm one that if I could get every single kid to be in athletics, man, that's what I'm here for. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So hopefully it does attract more kids and gets them to come out.
Yeah. And last question, Matt, as someone who's been through the program in Cotulla, you played the historical 2006 football team, which we brought you on before. How do you think this bond would make a difference for future athletes?
Well, I think the biggest thing about making a difference is just giving them opportunity and kind of letting them experience, some of the nicer things. And I as I mentioned earlier about hosting tournaments, bringing other schools, exposing them to other talent that's, South Texas or from the area. But I do know that, having a newer gymnasium would also, us hosting, playoff games and things like that, bigger schools, our kids to get to come and watch and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that really answers your question,
No,
but those
for
are
sure
just
it
kind
does.
of things that come to mind.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hope everything works out, man, because it's a great time right now. Cotulla Athletics, we're doing really well. Our numbers are definitely increasing. Kids are having fun. We're having success. And I'm just glad to be a part of it, man. I'm hoping that, as the years go on, we continue to build the programs up and have success and just continue competing, man, and get better at what we do.
For sure. One last question, or another last question, right? Will that 2006 trophy be displayed in a trophy case?
No doubt. It's actually on the renderings. They have a trophy case, like when you would walk in through the new gym, it's going to be right on the right side. So that might be the one dead center. But I do know one thing, that as I mentioned earlier, our goal is to put more trophies in there to where we have to make a bigger trophy case. So that's the plan for the years to come, man. I mean, like I said, we're definitely trending in the right direction, and hopefully everything works out. And here in a couple years, we'll be having this interview in a new gymnasium.
For sure. Yeah, we look forward to that. I appreciate you, Coach Rodriguez.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nice and short.
All right.
Hey, he already promised me one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we have the Coach Randy Ramirez joining us for a couple questions. Coach, you currently serve Assistant Athletic Director, correct?
Yes, sir, I sure do.
All right, and you've actually played in this gym,
Yes.
back in your high school days. Yeah, it was already established for a long time, but, you have some history in here. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, kind of, similar to what I asked Coach Rodriguez. From your perspective as a coach, what challenges do you face with the current gym setup?
Well, a lot of the challenges that we face are obviously time. A lot of times, especially like in volleyball, and I'm talking about what I've experienced in volleyball, sometimes we carry up to 40 to 45 girls. And the net system that we have here is a 3-pole net system standards. And it really kind of handcuffs us to where we have to practice on two sides of the court.
Mm-hmm.
They're not to standards. Sometimes they hang a little more. They're older nets and older standards. But I think more importantly, in basketball, we have to share the gym with the boys, and it pushes our practices back. So a couple of years back, we used to practice in the afternoons. The girls would probably go from about 4 to 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
And then the boys would come right after from 6 to 8.
Yes, sir.
So, and what I've noticed here lately, and we appreciate everything you do for our community, is that we see a lot of the younger kids having to practice a lot later as well.
Yeah.
So
That was
I
a
think
challenge.
that this project right here is going to help us all out, and in the spirit of the community, work together to do what's right for these kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, man, 40 to 50 volleyball girls, correct?
Yes, sir.
More or less. With the new having 2 gyms, would you be able to establish, or would you put like varsity JV freshmen in one and be able to focus on varsity playing on actual?
Yes, sir. So that's another thing is that that being able to have a hand in the design of the gym, we've designed it to where we have 2 separate courts, regulation courts, with some actual space in between. So now we're using 2 standards on each side where we can run scrimmages, we can run tournaments without volleyballs flying everywhere and coming into the practice area.
For sure. How do you think improved facilities would benefit our student athletes and the community as a whole?
Well, I think that as coaches, our biggest goal is to get everything out of these kids. And we see our kids travel to other communities. This gymnasium, although I love it, there's, like I said earlier, there's a lot of sweat equity in this gym, a lot of big games, big losses, big wins. I'm excited. I'm excited about this project because it's gonna create a lot of pride. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
we go into some other gyms like Hondo and like Tilden, where they've renovated or built a brand new gym, and our kids walk in and they just light up.
Yeah.
You know, so
Tilden, especially being
it's-
smaller than us, that's a
it is-
beautiful
it's
gym
a
that they got over there.
beautiful gym. So I spent some time today at the middle school, and where they were looking at the renditions and stuff like that, and you see those kids light up, and I'm like, man, you know, they're just going to give everything they got when they come into a brand new gym, and you know, as it is, they give us everything, you know. But I'm just excited to see that aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm, you know, kind of the similar question that I asked Coach Rodriguez. You know, do you anticipate more student athletes coming out to start being a part of the athletic program with the new gym?
Yes, sir. And I think the biggest thing, Mr. Sanchez, is that you hope that just as it comes into the gymnasium, you know, the pride and the animal is gonna filter into the classroom.
Yeah.
You know, and our goal is to get these kids in and out with high repetition, because now with 2 different courts, 3 different courts, you get a lot more repetition. You know, you can practice the varsity on one side, JV on another side, and you know, I think it's just going to be an overall a positive for this community. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I see, and I think that's the hard part right now when you're kind of limited with space. You know, you do lose out on reps. You do lose out on, I guess, you know, you got to change your coaching plan for the day.
Of course, yeah.
So let's see. You know, I'm gonna ask you this one too, because you've been a part. So as someone who's been through the program, how do you think this bond would make a difference for future athletes?
Well, I think it's going to bring, like you said earlier, it's going to bring some more athletes into the program. I think just the facilities in itself is going to lend to be able to work on their skills, to be able to concentrate on certain areas where you can do maybe some individual drills on one side, you can do maybe some competitive stuff on the other side. I just think as an overall program, we're going to benefit from it.
Yes, sir. Do you think it would kind of give them almost like a college feel to it in a sense?
Yes, of course. I was of course, I'm the head basketball coach here, and
Yes,
I was fortunate enough to take my son to the Final Four practices, because I like to go see what I can learn.
Yeah.
Whether it's from their warm-ups, their agilities, whatever they do. But I was amazed at the number of shots they put up. You know, the repetition, they go in there, they take about 300, 400 shots before they even start a game.
That's crazy.
You know? So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to: more baskets, more gym space. Whether it's volleyball, whether it's basketball, just the opportunity to get more reps, get more chances at knowing where the landmarks are on the court.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And it's going to help the younger kids too.
Yeah.
Now they're not practicing in the corner of a gym. They know where the free throw line is.
Exactly.
They know where the 3-point line is. They know where the 10-foot line is in volleyball. So.
Yeah, because it was harder, you know, running, I guess, sideways. You know, you're right. There's no
that
landmark.
happens to us too. Like in volleyball, we don't see where the 10-foot line is because there's no lines going the other way.
Correct. So here's probably be a funny question: are we ever gonna see the Cthulhu Sea with the fire coming out?
Oh man, you know what? My son tells me, Dad, you got to bring that back. He loves that design, and that was an old design. Shout out to Novi Garza,
Yeah.
You know, a local former coach. You know, we sat down and we talked about. I said, look, this is what I think. And he put it together, and people. I think I saw one of our former players last year, the year before, still had a shirt, and I almost felt like, hey, I'll buy it from you. But the only bad thing, it was a small size and it wouldn't fit me. But that design is one of a kind.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, you know, I came from Laredo, and when I first walked through that gym, that was the first thing that caught my eye. I said, man, that's pretty cool. Like,
bro, I gotta give a shout out to Coach Booker as well, because he was the one that said, put it in the middle of the court. That's your design. You know, it's a basketball court. You know, and when people would walk in here, they'd be amazed by that design.
It was. It's definitely legendary. I think maybe we could, you know, whenever we have that new gym built, maybe we could bring something back to this old one, little nostalgia.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
that's all I got for you today, Coach. I appreciate you joining me.
Yes,
we look forward to the future, and hopefully we can get this bond go through.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope I did all right, man. Nah, you did good.
Hey, he likes the sea with the fire.
All right, still got 2 viewers. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that's a wrap for our special live edition of Beyond the Game, Cotulla Backroads and Ball Games. A huge thank you to everybody that stopped by, all our guests that we had, Coach Rodriguez, Coach Mr. Nava, Coach Ramirez, Mr. Christian Ramirez, and Miss Tina Alba. I appreciate all of them stopping by. Remember, this bond is just more, it's more than bricks and courts. It's about investing in our kids, our athletes. It's about Cotulla's future, you know, and the future of our community. So I really appreciate the people that took the time to watch our live episode. And until next time, I'm Meme Sanchez. And as always, Beyond the Game is where the past meets the present. The past meets the present, and the game becomes a legacy. Thank you, everybody.